What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome back to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking a look at another one of the new characters, and it's going to be Gorilla Man. And we are still on the APK here, so we're still in the pre-update version of the game, so there's still going to be some changes that could happen from now to the live version, so do keep that in mind that all of the numbers and values may not be finalized here. And also, this video is brought to you by Netmarble and the Star Agents program. So now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at Gorilla Man here. So Gorilla Man is going to be the free-to-play character of the update here. So he is going to be, it says find in a shop here, and every time it says that, it is that means it's going to be a bio selector character. And I've already gotten the combat selector as the daily login, and I can verify that yes, Gorilla Man was in that selector, so he is definitely a bio selector character. So his gears right here are just at 25, and that's just how he came for me. I didn't throw any Uru or anything on him, so I haven't done too much to the character. For the skills, we have just the third skill leveled up, I think. Yeah, because he didn't really have any crazy effects on his skills here. Let's take a look at his passive first. So his passive, it increases guaranteed crit rate by 30%, decrease all damage received by 30%, and and increase the skill Ape Instinct, which is going to be his 4-star passive. We have a stun here, we've got a stun here. His third skill is going to be a skill with a buff on it, so that's why it's leveled up. We have all attack, or we have increased character size, and then we have all attack and all defense by 36 and 30%, so that's actually pretty dang good. And then we have invincibility for 4 seconds, which is really nice because he definitely needs a little bit of help here in the survivability department, because that's his only invincibility / damage immunity that has on his skills, but luckily he does have a few iframes to fall back on to keep him alive. His passive here is going to be a 50% increase to HP, so that's quite massive right there. I don't know what it is at tier 1. We can just go ahead and check here. It is a 20%, so he gets 30% from his tier 2 passive. That's pretty good. And then the fourth skill right here is another stun. And then the fifth skill is a silence with some shock, and it removes all debuffs and or removes all debuffs from himself. That's kind of weird. How is that going to be? Well, I guess you can remove like fracture and that kind of stuff from him. But yeah, anyway, so he removes debuffs from himself. So he's got a lot of stuns, and then he's got a silence. So he has a stun on like every skill except for the third skill. And of course the silence on the fifth skill. So he might be okay in PvP, even though I doubt it, but you can just stun lock the enemy, maybe just rotating through your skills if they don't have a debuff leadership, which most people are going to use anyway. Just trying to look at some of the positives here, but yeah, overall he seems like just an average character to me, like another combat character with a little bit more survivability just because of the iframes and invincibility. And then also it seems like he hits kind of in the middle. I'd say, like I said, he's an average character is kind of the impression I get from him. I have Hawk's Eye on him just because I do need to get his skill cooldown up, so that's the main reason, and that has to do with just the test account here, just needing the skill cooldown and not being in an alliance that is leveled up, so that's why I have this set on him here. But I would definitely go with Power the Angry Hulk if I had the option, because he needs that attack speed, because he doesn't get attack speed on any of his skills here, so attack speed is going to be really good for him. And then for the Obelisk here, or the CTP, I was trying him out with a CTP of energy just to see if he had enough hits to really take advantage of that chain hit damage. It doesn't look like he has enough hits. He's got some AoE, so like the second rotation after your opening one, you're going to be able to get a lot more hits, kind of with the residual damage, so it does start to add up. But I think you can pretty much just get away with a regular damage proc obelisk on him if you're going to use him as kind of a DPS character. If not, just go with an invincibility obelisk or something like that to just have him survive longer. And of course no uniform here. And then take a look at the stats. So we were able to cap the skill cooldown because of the ISO 8 set, and then our ignore defense is pretty much cap right there. And as you can see on this test account, we're very low on our crit rate. At least our crit damage is okay there, but our crit rate is quite low. Attack speed, again, quite low. It could be a little bit better there, but that's just what I'm working with right now. So that's what he looks like. So let's go ahead and hop into a little bit of gameplay and kind of show off the rotation that I found might be the best way to use him for a regular damage proc. And yeah, just talk about his survivability. Alright, so here we are. It's World Boss Ultimate. We're going in against Proxima because Gorilla Man here is a physical damage dealer. We have Hulk for the physical 30% leadership. I just went with Hulk because I didn't really want to give him anything too crazy like Nick Fury's 100% with the 50% leadership and 50% passive there. And then we have Shuri for her tier 2 support to help out with survivability and a little bit of damage. So we can kind of get an idea of what Gorilla Man might be able to do here. We're going into stage 32 without any strikers, and I'm just going in on this stage because it didn't have any blade twisters, and I didn't really want to deal with those, so that's kind of why I landed here. I don't really expect him to be able to clear the stage by any means. I just think this is a good stage to show off his damage because it's high enough to get an idea if he'll be good when you max him out or start putting heavy investment into him. So what I like to do for the skill rotation is we get the buff there, and then we go into the 4th skill. We got the iframe on the 2nd skill, and then the 3rd or the 5th skill right there. We get all the, what happened there? Why did I just lose my skill? Anyway, look how slow he is. Was he always this slow? I don't remember being this slow. Anyway, let's get our buff here. Go into the 4th skill for the damage proc. Get the iframe there on the 3rd skill. Hop into the 5th skill. Let that play out for the iframe. And then we get the residual damage right there from the 5th skill. And even with all of that, we did not get our obelisk to proc. Fantastic. Or our CTP. The CTP does not want to proc here. Are the hits really just that low, or are we just getting bad luck here? As you can see, the damage is okay when we actually get the CTP to proc, but it just does not want to proc with any kind of consistency here. Alright, let's delay this skill here a little bit. We'll just reset here. Let's just do that. And ow, and we get clocked right there by Proxima. But that's the skill rotation that I like to use. We use the buff on the 3rd skill, do the 4th skill for the damage proc, 2nd skill for the iframe, 5th skill for the iframe, hop back down, and then try to repeat the rotation, and then you have that extra damage there from the 5th skill that should hopefully help you out with the chain hit damage. But yeah, the CTP is just not proccing very consistently at all here. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I was having it proc pretty consistently in testing. Actually, it was proccing a little too early. It was always proccing on the 3rd skill instead of any of the other skills. As you can see, the 5th skill is not really a good candidate for the damage proc because it's such a short animation. And then we get all of the damage from the extra, like, what is it, like phone lines or something like that, or what comes down from the sky? Alright, so let's do that. Let's hop over here, hop over here. Yeah, the damage proc is just not happening here, because the 5th skill is on a 7.5 second cooldown, so the obelisk or the CTP should be back up and ready to proc, but for some reason it just doesn't want to. Alright, let's try again here. Oh, and we'll just die. Okay. That wasn't really a good showing by Gorilla Man there, but that was the skill rotation that I like to use with him, because then you get the buff, and then you have like the most, you know, extra damage or whatever that you can get, because you have the AoE from the 5th skill after the 1st rotation that should be consistent there when you're proccing on the 4th skill, but yeah, it doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me here. So let's try again, see if we can't get a little more consistency. It didn't even proc at all right there. Fantastic. So it's going to proc right here. Yep. Fantastic. Ow. Proxima. Relax. Hold on a sec here. Need to reset. Alright, so there we go. Damage proc went off where I wanted it to. Now we're going into the 5th skill. We're going to roar, and then we're going to blast her with that, but apparently that's not enough hits to trigger our CTP here. I don't know what to say. It's just not proccing with any kind of consistency. This is quite annoying, actually. Maybe it's because the 4th skill might be missing Proxima a lot because she's jumping around. Oh, yeah, the proc went off on the 3rd skill right there, which that has happened to me a few times when I was testing, but overall, yeah, I'm liking him a little bit less now after doing this video. I thought he was okay before, but now I'm just getting annoyed that I can't get the damage proc to go off with any kind of consistency here. Yeah, I mean, that's basically Gorilla Man there. Like I said, he's pretty much an average combat character, with maybe a little bit more survivability because he's got the iframe on 5 that's really long, and then he's got an iframe on 2 which is quite short, but it helps to fill in the gap so that you can get your invincibility back from the 3rd skill. So I mean, he's got that for him, but he just doesn't seem to trigger the CTP or a proc in general very consistently. So you know what, let's go ahead and throw a CTP of Rage on him and see if I'll be more impressed with him with that. But yeah, with regular damage proc, I'm not super impressed just because it's not going off very consistently, but when it did go off, the damage did look decent, so there is that. Alright, so it is CTP of Rage time, so let's see if this will help redeem Gorilla Man a little bit, even though I highly doubt you're going to want to put a CTP of Rage on him, because there's going to be a lot better candidates, but just to see, let's see what his damage looks like with the Rage on him. Alright, so what rotation do I want to use? Alright, let's go ahead and buff us. Oh, let's get our skill canceled out. Let's hop here. Okay. Flying through the skills a little bit too quickly there. Come back here, Proxima. Oh, get into that iframe. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, the damage is definitely better, but of course you'd expect that from a CTP of Rage, but you shouldn't need to put a CTP of Rage on the character just to make him playable. Or, well, I guess I shouldn't say just make him playable. He'll probably do quite well in Shadowland. He's not going to be aimed at World Boss Ultimate, so this probably isn't the intended area for him to be used in, but this is a good place to check out his damage. And yeah, still, it's nothing too impressive here with the CTP of Rage. I mean, the damage is definitely a lot more consistent, which is good. The Rage is a lot easier to proc here. Whoops, I missed the 3rd skill. Still messing up his skill rotation, but yeah, I mean, of course the damage is better. You would expect that from the CTP of Rage, but overall, I mean, he just, like I said, looks like an average character, which is kind of what you get with the free-to-play characters nowadays, or the bioselector characters. So yeah, that's Gorilla Man. Let me know what you guys think after seeing a little more gameplay of Gorilla Man here. If you're impressed with him, if you're gonna want to pick him up right away, or if you've got plenty of other bioselector characters that you want to work on ahead of him. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, but that'll be it for this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.